Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a full body flexibility practice, but it has been designed specifically with something in mind that maybe you have been in a vehicle or sitting down for a very long period of time, been on a long drive or road trip, or maybe you were going to be going on a long road trip. So find just a little bit of space to move. You don't need any props today, and let's get started. So we are gonna start today in tabletop, so on our hands and knees. You can give your hips a little bit of a sway side to side if it feels good to do so. Spread your fingers wide. Press into your palms a little bit. And then we're going to be extending our right leg back behind us. Find some length through that leg. Press into the ball of your foot. Maybe add a gentle sway forwards and back, or just hold it still. Notice how your ankle, your calf feels. Maybe even your hamstring. And then you can keep your leg back behind you, straight back behind you, or you could walk it over towards the left side. Maybe add a little outer leg, a little hip to this. As you send the hips to the right a touch, but push into the ball of your foot still. If you brought your leg to the left, just start to bring it back. Push into the ball of the foot again. Then we can slide our knee in. Maybe give the hips a little sway, shake it out. And then the left leg can start to go back. Press into the ball of the foot. How does this leg feel compared to the other leg? Maybe a gentle sway forwards and back, or maybe just holding it steady. And then if you'd like to bring your foot off to the right side, send your hips to the left. See how that feels. And then bring your leg back behind you. Press into the foot again. And slowly, let's bring our knee back into our tabletop, and maybe sway your hips side to side a couple extra times. Maybe you can take your right hand and turn your palm to face up. Just a little stretch for the wrist. The right hand can come back, and the left hand could turn to face up. And then just bringing your hands back down to the ground. Now, I want you to tuck your toes. We're going to lift our knees into a downward facing dog. And then we're going to kind of walk our feet towards our hands. We're going to walk our hands towards our feet too. I want you to end up in a nice forward fold. Oh my, let your upper body be nice and heavy. Take all of the weight out of your low back, maybe by bending the knees. If your chest can be lower or closer to the ground than your hips, your low back, you're going to feel some openness there. So nice after you've been sitting, or if you're going to be sitting for a long period of time. If you want to sway a little, you can sway, or you can hold it steady. Maybe holding your elbows to allow your arms to get heavier too. Soften your gaze or close your eye. Maybe notice if your belly is touching the top of your legs. Feel your belly press into your legs with each inhale you take. And if you're holding your elbows, just let your hands come back down to the ground. Bend your knees if needed to plant your hands. We're going to walk our hands a little bit away. We're going to walk our feet back as well so that we end up in downward facing dog. But just for a nice big breath in and out. Lower your knees down to the ground. Now, I love a good hip flexor stretch after sitting in a vehicle for a long period of time. I live in the prairies in Canada, so I'm very familiar with long drives. Usually have to drive quite a distance to get anywhere that you want to go in the prairies. So bring your right foot forwards, if I forgot to mention that. Set up a lunge to lengthen through your left hip flexor. Now you can keep your hands on the ground, the chest low, or you could lift up if you're feeling good. To lift up, if you need some extra cushion for that back knee, you might roll your mat over. If you're feeling good through the upper body though, we might take a little twist towards the right side. Maybe your left hand finds your knee, maybe your right hand finds your hip. Maybe you take a little peek towards your right shoulder too, or towards your back foot behind you. And then letting an inhale bring you back. If you're twisting, you can bring your hands to the ground. If you lifted them up too, send your hips back a little. Lengthen your front leg, but maybe push your toes down. Feel the ankle, maybe the shin. Dropping your chest towards your knee. And then just using an inhale to bend into your front knee again, just so that you can push back and into tabletop. Give your hips a little sway side to side. Then our left foot is going to be coming forwards. We'll set up our lunge, maybe rolling your mat over, bringing your hands to the ground. Find your right hip. The option to stay just like this, or maybe lifting the chest up for some more. Maybe you'll be taking a twist towards the left side. Let your hands support you. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears, maybe taking a peek behind you. Can you see your back foot? Maybe not. And if you're twisting, just using an inhale to come back forwards. Bring your hands down. Send your hips back a little. Lengthen your leg. Press the ball of your foot, your toes down. Maybe drop your chest towards your knee. And then use an inhale. Bend into that front knee a little. Push back and into your tabletop. Give your hips a nice sway. Side to side. Now to get into our upper back, our shoulders a little bit. Our left hand's going to reach forwards. Our right arm's going to tuck under the chest. Now you can come straight down. Or if you want to get into your back more, you can try to bring that right shoulder towards that left knee. To twist a little more. Try to bring that shoulder, that arm all the way down to the ground, the head included. And then let your left hand kind of walk back towards the top of your mat. Push into the fingertips. Open the chest. Maybe take a peek up above you. Take one more breath. And then use an inhale and a big push into your left hand to lift all the way back up, back into your tabletop, onto your hands and knees. Maybe sway side to side with the hips or the shoulders even. And as we switch sides, your right arm can reach forwards, left arm can tuck under the chest, straight down. Or if you want to go for a little bit more through the back, bring your shoulder, your arm towards the right knee. Lower down, lay down, and then walk your right hand, your fingertips behind your head, towards your head. Push the ground away. Maybe you can take a peek up above you. One more breath on this side. And then using an inhale to lift. Push yourself up. Find your tabletop again. Maybe swaying the hips side to side. Maybe the shoulders even move. And then you might use an inhale to drop your belly and lift your chest, arch your back, lift your chin. As you exhale, round your spine. Tuck your chin to your collarbone. Try to open up between your shoulder blades. Inhale to come back to a nice long spine. Now we're going to cross our ankles and sit down. Just for a moment. Butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Take an inhale to lengthen through your spine. We're not going to stay seated very long because who wants to be still sitting down at this point? Take a tip forwards if you would like. Take a breath. And then we're going to lift right back up. We're going to bring our knees together. Give them a hug or a squeeze. Maybe a rock side to side. And then we're going to lay down on our backs. So, depending on what you are laying on, how your back is feeling, we might rock a little bit forwards and backwards. If you would like to stay flat on your back and maybe sway a little side to side, that can give your back a massage as well. But if you're on a surface that isn't too hard, you might be able to rock up and down, and it will feel good on your back. And you can make this a smooth, slow movement. It can be very small. You don't have to come all the way up to seated. But we're going to meet flat on our back. So the next time that you come down, you can stay down. And maybe your knees will find their way towards the chest. Maybe your feet will stay on the ground, but you could hug your knees, sway side to side if you would like. And then we're going to do one more twist. So our knees are going to be tipping over towards the left side. You can stack your legs, reach your arms out wide. Your left hand might even rest on your knees, on your legs, just to hold them in place. And letting an inhale. Lift your legs up. We can twist to the other side. This is actually a great practice to do before your road trip and after your road trip, and maybe anywhere in between. If you have time, space, a yoga mat available, or something to be on the ground. Awesome, Ricky, guys. Let your legs come back up out of your twist. Maybe you're hugging your knees again, rocking side to side. Your feet can find the ground if they're lifted up, though. Your knees can stay bent. Roll your chin over towards your left shoulder. And then roll your chin all the way over towards your right shoulder. And just come back all the way over to the left. And to the right. And then you'll end up back, resting on the back of the head. And you might pause, check in with how you're feeling now. Maybe you'll stay here for a few moments. Shavasana. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great road trip if that is the case, or maybe you just enjoyed the full body stretch. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Namaste.